And as the Thunder arrived earlier on, they appeared to be in no mood to show any mercy tonight. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. From the plains of Oklahoma, welcome high above downtown Oklahoma City. Hi, everyone. We're coming to you live on 2K Sports, bringing you the NBA. And tonight, we've got the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Detroit Pistons. Hello, everyone. With Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, I'm Kevin Harlan. We'll be hearing from our Hall of Famer on the sideline, David Aldridge. D.A., take it away.
Well, guys, for all of the star power Blake Griffin had when he was in Los Angeles, it was tough for him to be the leader of the Clippers. There were bigger voices in the locker room, such as CP3 and Doc Rivers. But Pistons coach Dwayne Casey said, in Detroit, he's definitely the leader. When he speaks, everybody listens. This is his team. Kevin?
Yeah, and he has their confidence. David, thank you. We've got a quick moment now to take a look at the long-term rebounding numbers over several seasons for Adams.
He's really made that a focus of his game these past few years, and it's paid big-time dividends for him. He's become a much better rebounder, and it's increased his value as a player by leaps and bounds.
And a look at the starters for the Pistons. They've got Kennard, John Henson out there with Griffin. Then there's Brown, and it's Rose in at the one spot. And for the Thunder, Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Chris Paul. And it's Robertson in at the three.
You look back at the Blake Griffin trade, many thought the Pistons gave up too much, but it's worked out for them.
Yeah, losing the picks for Griffin, you have to admit it did hurt. But people forget that Griffin is a star player, and he reminded those same people last year. He's become the leader for this franchise as they try to move forward.
Now, here's Robertson. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. Shot clock at 5. And Henson sends it back. Inside, here's Brown, and it's blocked. Paul left side. The 15-footer, good.
That medium-range area, that was Paul's bread and butter when he entered into the league. I mean, then he added range to that.
The pass to Kennard. Gallinari against Griffin. That one good for 2.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
We see this all too often. You have to be willing to put in the work.
Now Paul. 14 points from him the last game against Cleveland. Tries from 10, and he hits the jumper for 2. Paul's got his second bucket of the night.
And a good read right there by Paul. Great at carving out space close to the rim and capitalizing.
Now here's Rose. He's coming off a 22-point game against Phoenix. Griffin kicks to Rose. Knocked away. Detroit needs to get off a shot here. Kennard's shot is off. And the foul on John Henson. That is his first foul of the game. Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. Here's Paul. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game. Adams dishes to Gallinari.
Oh, he's decent at defending the basket. The key for Griffin is remaining engaged and active on the scene.
Kennard kicks to Brown. Outside Rose, beyond the arc. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
Live by the 3, die by the 3. If you're perimeter dependent, you don't really know game to game how it's going to go.
Yeah, Greg, and when you're not connecting from deep, you got to mix it up. I mean, look to score inside more. They didn't do enough of that.
And so it's Rose who brings the ball up for the Pistons. Trailing by 2. Last game matchup with the Suns, a tough loss there.
Scoring efficiency was an issue in that one. Took them too many shots to get their points.
Yes, yeah. They had a hard time taking the lid off the basket. Their offense just looked flat.
Now here's Rose. Steven Adams unable to get his last shot to go. Down low, here's Henson. And Adams sends it back. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. A shot by Paul, nobody around. Off target from outside. The Pistons have gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. Kennard's shot is off. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. Working on Henson, and the basket is good.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you had to bring much faster help than that.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. They're getting their first look at the Thunder in this one.
Yeah, and they put up a goose egg last year when they played this team twice.
Already it's February. Hard to believe. Let's see how the West is matching up. Taking a look at Oklahoma City. They're down in the bottom of the conference. Their fans hope they can turn it around and show some improvement.
And when I look at Oklahoma City, they've had such a disappointing season. Even when they've gotten a little bit of momentum, they haven't been able to keep it going.
No, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating to everyone, the players, the coaches, the fans. I mean, there was the idea that they might struggle, but now reality is setting in.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
And you look at the way Steven Adams has developed his offense the last few years. It's been a huge boost for this team. He has always been a great defender, but now he is an important cog on this team in terms of scoring.
Now here's Griffin. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Griffin's got his second bucket tonight.
And that was the play to make. Rose making the right read.
The Thunder leading by 4. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Fade away. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams.
And checking out some numbers here for Chris Paul. His last 10 games, he's putting up about 12 points a game, 2.5 steals, and 5 assists. Not bad numbers, but for a player of his talent, you have to think he can do more.
Well, no doubt. He's been inconsistent. Unusual for him, though, but when he turns it back around, watch out.
Pass to Henson. Griffin with it. Shot clock at 4, and the slam by Blake Griffin.
Now, the aggression that Griffin plays with, I mean, that's what sets him apart, whether he's attacking the basket or getting after it on the offensive glass like he does right here.
And with Adams in his offense, you forget how young he is.
And big men, sometimes they just take a little longer to find their path in the NBA. And Adams has certainly found his. I remember him being in mostly to screen and rebound when he was a rookie, but look how far his game has come.
Goes up again. And they have their chances. 2 offensive rebounds, but they still come up empty.
Well, he has to work harder to get a good high percentage look. I mean, he's been taking some bad shots out there.
Rose finds Brown. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Chris, what would you tell a young player that maybe a couple years ago burst onto the scene, were sensational, but have been plateauing, maybe even regressing a little bit?
I tell them success is a journey. That even if they would have won a Rookie of the Year award last year or a championship, that doesn't make them successful if they don't come with that same work ethic the next year. So if you've had a down year, that does not matter. You're supposed to learn from it and make this year better as well. So I would say get back to the drawing board, get back to working hard, watch a lot of tape, be honest with yourself, and focus on how to get better. Now, positive mentality, let's go forward.
Good direction. And it's tied up with that one. And for the Thunder, a lot of the assistant coaches leaving this past summer. Greg, how much of a concern is that for head coach Billy Donovan?
possibly a sign that Donovan could be on the hot seat in OKC. I mean, 3 consecutive first-round exits. Donovan on the final year of his deal. The clock is definitely ticking.
Here's Kennard. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And Kennard came into the league viewed mostly as a shooter, but he's been able to provide much more than that.
I mean, better than you think when he puts the ball on the floor. Learning how to lean into defenders and step back to open up the shot is a better playmaker than he gets credit for, and we should see him take on a larger role as he develops.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one.
Very rich history for Detroit Pistons. They've been a part of the sports scene in Detroit since 1957, and they have 3 championships to their name.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. Well, you look back at the title teams for the Pistons. There were a lot of them. Chris, which team was your favorite?
Oh, man. Well, growing up in Detroit, I'd have to go back to the Bad Boys in 89, 90, just watching them get through Boston and then, you know, dominate the Bulls of that time. They went back-to-back winning championships. That was incredible. And it was something special, though, about my boys in the 2014. She, Ben Wallace, Rip, those guys. That was fun to watch as well.
Al Paul following the three-point attempt by Derrick Rose. Here's Gallinari. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Outside Rose. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
And the quickness and acceleration of Derrick Rose, even with a simple dribble move, he can leave defenders stuck to the floor.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And he is a cool customer at the line, guys. You've got to be when you're shooting 84% on the season.
And Oklahoma City going with a whole new group out there. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Makers checked in for Henson. Christian Wood comes in for Blake Griffin. Boy is checked in for Brown. And Tony Snell subbed in for Luke Kennard. You know, Greg, for the Thunder fans, hard to see their star power dwindle, but they got a lot in return.
Yeah, but the Thunder were capped out. They hadn't made it past the first round in 3 years. And in exchange for Paul George, they got one of the richest trade packages in league history.
And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City.
Things not going their way, and he wants to just try to talk this one over.
Well, the defensive intensity has to pick up, and I'm sure coach is going to let them know that.
Langston Galloway's checked in for Derrick Rose. Let's take a brief moment to look at the 2K leaderboard with the list of the league's feistiest defensive teams. Second, the Thunder.
You can't get careless with the basketball against this group. I mean, they'll pick your pocket, and no surprise to see them in the upper echelon as far as steals.
Here's Ferguson. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Noel finds Schroeder. Banked in off the glass.
And with that basket, he's able to end a 10-0 run by Detroit.
And it's Galloway with the ball. He'll bring it up for Detroit. Pass to Maker. Galloway taking his time here. Nailed from three-point land. And the Pistons lead by 5.
But I like the confidence from the guard. Galloway, he shows no fear in shooting off the pass.
Now the pass to Baisley. Back to Schroeder. 5 to shoot. Here's Muscala and the powerful one-handed slam.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Here's Galloway. He's usually able to provide some lift to his team, averaging 6 points a game. From deep, Detroit keeping it alive. A new 14. Wood kicks to Doumbouya. Another shot. And it's Noel with the rebound.
The rotation in the D could be better here. It'll cost them next time if it's not.
Always going up for the alley-oop here. Hammers the alley-oop through.
And how sweet a play was that?
As sweet as it gets. An exquisite pass to set up the powerful alley-oop dunk. There's Galloway. Pass to Doumbouya. There's Galloway. He's guarded by Schroeder. Maker misses.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Greg last season, Dennis Schroeder transitioning to more of a six-man role with the Thunder.
And for his first go at that role, I thought Schroeder looked really good. He's always been able to score and create, and coming off the bench might be the best spot for him.
That one drops. He ties it up. Injuries can play such a big part in a player's career. Which guys strike you, Chris, as the biggest what-if stories had they stayed healthy?
Wow. I mean, you got to start, in my mind, I got to go to, a guy like a Grant Hill. He was Mr. Triple-Double. You know, he and Jason Kidd, to me, were almost the same players, just in different bodies when Grant started his career off in Detroit. And to see him get injured, man, that just hurt me because he had so much potential. Even though he had a great career, I still think about him. How about Greg Oden? He got hurt in his senior year, had to shoot free throws with his left hand, and then he comes into the league, and the big fella just had to battle injuries, and feel sorry for that big fella because he was so skilled in the game.
Wood with the bucket.
He's out there on an island all by himself. I mean, good job to stay cool and drain it.
Here's Ferguson. No points in the game yet for him. He kicks it to Noel. Schroeder passes to Baisley. Schroeder looking over the floor. 6 to shoot. To the paint. And Noel gets it to go on the assist by Schroeder. Noel's got it all tied up now for Oklahoma City. Here's Galloway. Passes to Snell. Here's Wood. Over Muscala. No good off the back of the rim.
For a player who's almost a sure thing to score in tight, that one's a stunner.
And it's Schroeder missing. Detroit's gone 1 of 5 from downtown in the first quarter. Points out there have been hard to come by. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. Pass to Muscala. Dishes to Schroeder. And again, it's Oklahoma City.
And that's just taking advantage of some soft defense on that drive. Little resistance for him on the way to the basket.
Here's Galloway. The pass to Wood. And it's Doumbouya in the corner. Again, the miss by the Pistons. The Thunder with the lead. Here's Ferguson. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Noel lets it go from deep. Detroit with the rebound. 36 seconds left here in the first quarter. That one goes in.
Showing he has some touch. Now for Maker, it's more about adding the muscle so he could become more dangerous.
Pass to Muscala. 23 seconds left to play in the first. And Noel kicks it over to Schroeder. And slam dunk by Noel.
And I've been impressed with the unselfishness, but also getting guys the ball where they can do something with it.
Yeah, he's just not giving the ball up. He's passing with a purpose, and it's leading the scores.
Galloway, the pass to Wood. Here's Doumbouya. So at the end of one quarter of play, still a close game. Thunder out in front. They're up by 2. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Oklahoma City. Chris Ball talks about the matchups he faces at the point guard.
The toughest position in the NBA night in and night out is the point guard position. You know, every night you look at the board, the coach is pretty much going to say, their team goes as such and such goes. You know what I mean? So that's the toughest part, and that's probably the funnest part, too, because it's competition.
And CP3, one of the most competitive players in the game.
It's an obsession with him, and you can see how hard he gets after it every time he takes the court.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And when you consider how the Thunder are doing, guys, what do you think?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Old school approach. I mean, if you have a favorable matchup inside, just keep pounding it in there.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So for Oklahoma City right now, Nerlens Noel is out there with Mike Muscala. Then there's Dennis Schroeder, and it's Baisley in at the 3 spot. Nobody near Schroeder. Drops in the tray. Schroeder's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for the Thunder. To the middle, here's Wood, and that one is stuffed right through.
You want more of this from Galloway? I mean, we know he can score, but it's crucial he improves his passing.
Here's Ferguson. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Passes it to Noel. There's the triple. He can't hit that time.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
And with that, the Thunder lead is cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Galloway.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Here's Schroeder. He's coming off a 13-point game against Cleveland.
Yeah, and as good of a scorer as he was in that game, he was even a better passer. A lot of assists for him.
Scored the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
That's just great touch. The teardrop, well, that's all about feel.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was the 2018 Coach of the Year, but as we all know, he was fired after that same season by the Raptors. Casey's found a home in Detroit. Casey said, "I have no regrets." Winston Churchill said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." And that's what I've done. So, Kevin, Dwayne Casey is still pounding the rock.
He sure is, and I like that Churchill quote as well. Thanks, David. There's Galloway. The Thunder making the shot. Clock at 6. Here's Wood. Misses his second shot in 4 attempts from the field. The Thunder leading by 5. Schroeder passes to Noel. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. Now a timeout called by Detroit. While the NBA is entertainment, you know, Chris, it also can have a very social impact in a positive ways. Guys like Kyle Korver have spoken out. The Jazz took action last season Chris, how do you feel the league has responded to issues like discrimination?
Well, I think the league has done a wonderful job, better than any league. First of all, we acknowledge it. You don't just throw it under the rug and say there's no problem here. And that may be the toughest, to be able to acknowledge that. And then secondly, to make quick, sweeping decisions, I think has also been awesome too. But I don't think any league in the history of sports has had more players speak up for issues in society than ours. Let's go back to Bill Russell and others, the way that they started the game and came in. We have to love it, and I love the fact that the league is not scared of the narrative, and we work together. And by the way, that Kyle Korver article was so awesome. It was so vulnerable for him to write that. And when you have players like that, no matter what color, that are selfless to speak out to make society better, then it's not just good for the game, but it's great for all of us. So kudos to Kyle, the Jazz, and everyone doing all they can do to make things better for everyone.
Absolutely. And it's the Thunder with the ball, following the bucket by the Pistons. Gilgeous-Alexander kicks to Gallinari. Adams trying to free himself up. And it's Gallinari missing. Pistons trail by 5. Griffin dishes to Rose. Brown outside. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Here's Schroeder. And the foul called on Nerlens Noel. That's his first foul. Robertson, he's checked in for the Thunder. Paul comes in for Dennis Schroeder. Pistons have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Rose against Paul. Here's Henson. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got his 3rd assist on the night. Paul with the ball. Shoots over Henson. The shot's good from Paul. Paul's got 6 points.
That's what makes CP3 a nightmare to defend. You never know if he's going to beat you off the dribble or slip a pass right through.
Now here's Rose. He's been playing a big part of their offensive scheme, averaging around 15.5 points a game. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He's guarded closely. And here's Griffin. He'll bring it up for Detroit. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. Here's Paul. Count that as his 4th basket of the night. Just 7 shots to get there.
This system is set up perfectly for him today. I mean, it's allowing him to find a lot of good shots.
And here's Rose. Fires it up. Griffin's shot is off.
Oh, their movement is good, and they get the ball into the right hand. Now, usually he drops those in between jumpers.
Paul. Rose with the block. It's Brown on the wing. Defended by Robertson. Brown the pass to Rose. At the elbow, Griffin. Over Gallinari. And that one's good. Griffin. Griffin's got 4 points in the quarter.
A big problem for the defense inside. I mean, once Griffin gets established, he's comfortable shooting the ball.
And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Now Robertson kicks it to Paul. Pass to Gallinari. Rebounded by the Pistons. Henson's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done.
And there's the foul. It's on Steven Adams.
That'll be his second foul of the game.
I appreciate the aggression, but that's already his second foul. He's got to play it a little safer now.
To the inside, and slam dunk by Henson.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. And it's the Thunder with the ball. Paul looking over the floor, and the foul on Rose. That's his first foul. And the pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Back to Paul. The three. And a great assist by Gilgeous-Alexander as that one goes in. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 4 assists now tonight.
And Chris, just how special was it to play for Detroit in your career? What relationship does this team have with their fans?
Yeah, it was so special. I mean, being able to go home to the house that I grew up in, or to where my parents lived, and be able to go to the Pistons practice and to be part of it, to put on that jersey. It was so special, man. This team is a mainstay of the city. I mean, you feel like you can lift up the whole city when you play for the Pistons. It was such a special part of my career.
Here's Robertson following the score by Derrick Rose. Just 5 to shoot. Robertson kicks to Paul. The three-pointer no good.
Oh, they get away with it here, but that's not a shot you should ever be giving him.
Kennard, the pass to Henson. And slam dunk by Henson.
Oh, the movement off the ball is good. I mean, and the pass to hit him in stride is even better.
Now here's Paul. 11 points in the game. Griffin with the steal. Here's Kennard. He's coming off a 16-point game against Phoenix.
I mean, and you look at his free throw numbers. I mean, it shows you how much pressure he put on the defense.
And the Thunder with the possession here. It's a 3-point game. That's tipped. And the turnover again by Oklahoma City.
And let's check out some stats for Derrick Rose. How's the last month of basketball been for him? Averaging 13 points per game, 6 assists, and 2 rebounds. And he has been passing the ball like a virtuoso. That's what really stands out about these recent performances.
Hey, every symphony needs a conductor. He unifies his teammates, sets the tempo, and they make some sweet, sweet music.
Here's Kennard. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Gallinari against Brown. Gallinari down low. And that one is good. Gallinari's got his second basket of the night.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Griffin kicks to Kennard. Henson trying to break free. Kennard's shot is off.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Gilgeous-Alexander. That one drops for him.
Oh, the timing couldn't have been better on that assist.
Rose against Paul. Pass to Kennard. Griffin down low. Nails the baby hook. Griffin's got 12 points in the game.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And it's Paul with the ball for Oklahoma City. Detroit with the rebound. Henson's got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. Here's Kennard. And he converts the layup. And it's a 3-point Piston lead.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
Oklahoma City's gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Paul dishes to Gallinari. Inside, stolen by Henson. And there's Rose on the assist by Brown. Rose has got the lead up to 5 now for the Pistons. And there's 1:45 left here in the second. Rose against Paul. Stolen by Henson. And now the fast break. Griffin with the ball. That's good again. His 7th basket. 7 for 10 from the floor.
And the quickness of Griffin is so impressive. When the break is on, he uses it to burn the defense.
There's 1:26 left in the first half of the game. Paul passes to Adams. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He's guarded closely.
And every miss finds its way to his hands. Well, what an impressive performance.
Yeah, Greg, and it's more than just being in the right place at the right time. I mean, he's been active and aggressive.
And Gallinari kicks to Adams. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Gallinari against Henson. Shot clock at 6. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. That one's in there. The Detroit lead is cut down to 4 on the bucket from Gallinari.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Rose looking around. 26 seconds left in the first half of basketball. And it comes off the front of the rim.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
Paul with the ball. 11 points in the game. From deep. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. Blake Griffin getting it done for Detroit. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, Dwayne. What are you looking at for the second half after seeing what happened in the first?
Well, defensively, we got to get stops. We got to get them out the boards and box out. Again, we got to meet their aggression with our aggression offensively. And offensively, we can't let the ball stick. We got to get the ball moving and hopping around the horn and make them move their feet.
Case, thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. Some incredible work in this one by Blake Griffin. He had 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 steal. The first 2 quarters went very well for him. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
Well, it's always a little bit of a challenge playing on the road, but they came in mentally prepared and physically prepared. The energy in the arena was fierce, but they didn't cave in.
And big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Thunder.
Well, the reserves came in and played like starters. Gave them some big points off the bench. It'll be no surprise to see them get more minutes in the second half. They definitely deserve it. Though sometimes when you get more minutes, you get exposed. We shall see.
And that's going to do it for us here. The second half of action is coming your way.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. You look at Blake Griffin in this game, he's been everywhere.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column? Through 2 quarters, he has been terrific.
Yeah, Greg, this game has his fingerprints all over it. Now looking to replicate what he did in the first half.
Pistons leading by 4, and Detroit looking at who they've got. We've got Brown. Griffin is out there with John Henson. Then there's Derrick Rose, and it's Kennard in at the 2 guard. Brown kicks to Rose. Left side, Griffin. Just 5 on the clock. The tray, and the 3 ball is good. Kennard's got 8 points.
Amazing awareness. He's committed to keeping his eyes up and teammates involved. That's the type of player Griffin is.
Kennard's gone 3 of 7 shooting from the floor. And here is Paul. He feeds it to Adams. Second shot opportunity, and it's good on the way in. Adams has got his first points in this one.
Just a grinder, always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table.
Griffin down low, Gallinari on him, and there it is for him. Griffin's got the lead up to 7 now for the Pistons.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Gallinari, no stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a 3-point play. It's going to be on Blake Griffin. The Thunder shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
One shot.
That free throw good from Gallinari. Chris, are there specific types of plays where you feel the whistle gets blown maybe a little too often and a little too early?
Well, sometimes for a guard, when he's defending a guard and the pick and roll comes and he fights through that pick, and as a guard, offensive player, I can stop and let you bump into me and shoot the ball. I think the refs just have to be smart with it. Sometimes it's a foul, but every time it's not, just because of the situation or the flop. And also, you just don't want players to be bailed out when the defender is in a good position. But that's what makes the game so great, is the fact that as an offensive player, you got to try to manipulate and find out where you can sneak yourself in the gray areas of a rule. And as a defensive player, how can you use your skill, your will, and then your IQ not to get caught with your hand in the cookie jar?
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Henson trying to break free. The shot misses. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, in Blake Griffin, the Pistons have their biggest star in years, probably going back to their championship team of 2004. A return to all-star form for Blake meant tremendous individual numbers last season. And the Pistons hadn't won a playoff game in more than a decade. It's still not the result they want in 2019. The Pistons will be trying to capitalize during Blake's prime. Kevin, we'll see where this franchise goes from here.
We sure will, David, but he's a terrific player. Thank you so much. Robertson dishes to Paul. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Detroit Pistons. On Saturday, the New York Knicks coming to town, tipping off a homestand for them. Then on Monday, they'll host the Charlotte Hornets. Pistons leading by 4. Knocked loose. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Griffin.
The most positive thing about his last 10 games, the work on defense. His mindset has become very aggressive. The steals are up, and he's becoming a big factor on the defensive end.
Now here's Paul. Poked away. Here's Rose. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Chris Paul picks up that one.
And a coach that players love is Dwayne Casey. Very debt-friendly, sticks up for his guys in every post-game interview.
Yeah, Casey is very measured in his approach. Change at times, but his players appreciate the consistency.
9 on the shot clock. 3 on the 3-point line. 2 on the 3. 3 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 on the First free throw is good.
And Derrick Rose, the former #1 overall pick in 08, one of the most athletically gifted point guards the league has ever seen.
And Rose drops them both.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Now, Gilgeous-Alexander. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. Passes it to Robertson. Shoots over Brown. The Thunder with another miss. Pistons leading by 6. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
A moment now to see the numbers for Danilo Gallinari. This past month, he's really set himself apart, averaging about 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. To have a scorer like him consistently deliver you points makes such a big difference for a team.
Yeah, it gives you something you really can rely on going into every game. And you can also work off of him to look to create for others.
That free throw, no good. And he's good on the second. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Looking to get it going. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Who got played? Down low, here's Kennard. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Kennard's got the lead up to 9 now for the Pistons. Now here's Paul. He's got 11. To halt the run. And Henson pulls it down. Henson's got 14. Yep, 14 rebounds for him tonight. Wow. Here's Griffin. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yeah, you can tell they love to get out and run when the opportunity is there.
The Thunder shooting their 4th shot at the foul line here. And the Thunder with some changes. Noel's checked in for Andre Robertson. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Chris Paul. Then for the Pistons, Thon Maker's checked in for John Henson. And Doumbouya subbed in for Bruce Brown.
Mind the lanes. One shot.
That's good from Gilgeous-Alexander. Pistons leading by 6. Outside Rose. Pass to Maker. The feed to Griffin. The Thunder pull it in.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
Yeah, Greg, that's just great defense, forcing his man into a difficult attempt.
I tell you, he has some impressive moves in his repertoire. That's as good as it gets, but just one of many.
Rose against Schroeder. And there's the pass to Doumbouya. Back to Rose. He's looking for Griffin and finds him. 6 on the shot clock. Over Noel. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
Things can turn around in a hurry. I mean, can't they? I mean, last quarter, he was lights out. All of a sudden, nothing's dropped.
And guys, one thing that has been interesting to see since Blake Griffin came to Detroit is how he's developed as a leader, has come into his own with how he takes responsibility for the team's play.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Ferguson's checked in. Detroit also making some changes. Christian Woods checked in for Griffin. Tony Snell comes in for Luke Kennard. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Derrick Rose. And so it's Oklahoma City with it, trailing by 4. Here's Ferguson. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. And with Griffin, you look at his time on the Clippers, and for most of his career, he was more of a second in command.
Coach Casey said last year early on that Griffin is the leader of this team, and Blake took it upon himself to step up to the challenge. Makes sense no matter how you look at it. He's their best player and needs to be one of the leaders.
Here's Schroeder following the bucket by the Pistons. Ferguson, the pass to Noel. Rebounded by Snell. Pistons leading by 6. Here's Galloway. 5 points in the game. And the rejection by Noel. And now the fast break. Schroeder with the ball. Wasted no time on that one. Schroeder's got 12 in the game.
Good anticipation on the feed. He knows exactly where to go with that ball.
Pass to Doumbouya. Maker passes to Doumbouya. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
Thunder trailing by 6. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Here's Adams, and Adams with the slam.
The finish was nice, but the setup was better.
Yeah, GA, the pick working to full effect before the stuff.
Yeah, coach is definitely pleased. That's the execution he loves to see.
And the Pistons with possession here. Following the score by Oklahoma City. And stolen by Noel. And the Thunder pushing it up now. Ferguson misses.
And guys, not sure where his head was on that shot. Not what this offense was designed to create.
Come on, you can't be selfish. You got to be willing to make the next pass. Otherwise, you're just predictable.
Oklahoma City's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. To the middle, here's Adams. Makes it off the glass. He has 6.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
Here's Galloway. He's guarded by Schroeder. Wood kicks to Doumbouya. Detroit, no good that time either.
If you can't hit that one, your teammates are going to think twice about feeding you the next time down.
Stolen by Doumbouya. He's got a clear path, and here we go. Galloway with the bucket.
And a sharp pass to set up that high percentage shot in close.
And it's Schroeder with the ball. He brings it up for Oklahoma City. The Celtics will be coming into town for the next game. And that'll be the third of the 4 straight at home.
And those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
And rightfully so. Also, how lackluster was the defense right there with the score this tight?
Here's Snell. Maker passes to Wood. 5 on the clock. Top of the key, Snell. Shoots over Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got 7 rebounds in the game. Oklahoma City trailer. Schroeder with the ball. He's got 12. Here's Adams. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. To the paint, here's Wood. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Wood's got 6.
Oh, that's some skill on that assist. I mean, the timing has to be perfect on a lead pass.
Passes it to Muscala. It's stolen by Maker. And now the Pistons fast break. And he lobs it up toward the rim. And the jam by Doumbouya.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. Here's Schroeder. After the made shot from Sekou Doumbouya. Pass to Muscala. Here's Baisley. And it's Schroeder in the corner. Shot on the wing. Count it. Schroeder's got 4 points this quarter. 1:27 left in the third quarter. Here's Galloway. He has 7. He kicks to Doumbouya. Shoots the 3. No good that time. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. And the call will be against Langston Galloway. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Robertson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Paul comes in for Terrence Ferguson. Here's Paul. Rebounded by Maker. Maker's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
Well, until he starts knocking down some shots, I don't think the deficit's going to get any smaller. Okay, listen, you got to body him up when he's in the paint. If you play off of him, then that's just 2 easy points.
52 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Out left to the wing. Here's Schroeder. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Schroeder's got 17 now.
Exceptional instincts from the clever guard, Paul. I mean, reading the D, making the right pass.
The pass to Wood. Over Muscala. Wood can't hit. Thunder trailing by 3. Paul outside. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Second chance shot. Wood can't hit.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
Yeah, you can see why he's established that reputation. Strong understanding of how to defend at the rim.
This game has a lot of character here in the third period. 6 changes of the lead here.
Intensity is the theme for this one.
It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. Thunder lead by 1. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
How about the unselfishness? Night in and night out, we see guys trying to force their own agenda. Not that time.
And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. Robertson and Gallinari at the small and power forward positions. Chris Paul is out there with Dennis Schroeder, and it's Muscala in at the center, locking down the middle. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. The Pistons trailing. Here's Brown, and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
And the first one at the line is good. Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Detroit. Luke Kennard comes in for Doumbouya. And Brown drops them both. And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. There's the dish to Gallinari, to the middle. Schroeder draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line. It's been a tight one so far. Very close game.
And matchups, it's really what it's all about, and these two teams are really equal.
One shot.
And, well, Detroit shooting at a decent 44% clip here. Paul against Rose. Kicks it to Maker for the three. And that one is off. So the Thunder will take it the other way. Here's Paul, and Maker sends it back.
Proving he can be an active defender. Great hustle from Maker to stifle the shooter.
On the wing, Brown, defended by Robertson, and the basket by Maker.
And guys, all about hard work from this point on. They've worked hard to create that high-quality shot and then able to knock it down.
We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Paul outside. They get it back. Muscala, and there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
Straight up effort gets him those points. That's what it's all about on the offensive glass.
Rose against Paul. It's Brown on the wing. Pass to Griffin. Over Gallinari. Some solid defense from Gallinari. For Oklahoma City, they've gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Gallinari against Brown. Outside Griffin. Down low, here's Kennard. Shot's good. Griffin making the play. Kennard's got the game tied up here for the Pistons. Thunder shooting in the fourth quarter, not pretty, down around 29%. Paul passes to Muscala. Schroeder outside. Back to Muscala. He dishes it to Schroeder. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Schroeder's got 5 points in the quarter.
Oh, that's just a terrific night for him from the floor, making almost everything he looks at.
Rose against Paul. In the corner, it's Griffin. Pass to Kennard. Back to Griffin. Over Gallinari. That one wide left.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
Paul kicks to Gallinari. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
First 3 of the half, second of the game. Can he heat up?
Pistons trail by 5.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Pass to Griffin. Over Gallinari. Griffin's shot is good.
Look out, everybody. Blake Griffin is having one of those nights. And when he's in this kind of mood, he is frightening.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Schroeder passes to Gallinari. And here is Muscala. And the rebound goes to Griffin. Griffin's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Kennard. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Brown's got his 4th assist in this one.
Look, when the D will give it to you, that's where you want your shots coming from. Arm's length from the bucket.
The Thunder have gone 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. Now Paul. From the baseline. Detroit with the rebound. Maker's got his 7th rebound here tonight.
He's been off the mark, but somehow he hasn't held them back as a team.
And the Thunder pushing it up now. Gallinari running. Robertson. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Thunder lead by 3.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. Paul against Rose. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Griffin dishes to Maker. Got a piece of it.
A really good rebound in traffic. That's what the big fella's there for.
The shot's good from Robertson. And so it's Detroit with the ball. Here's Rose. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Chris Paul picks up that one.
And a guy who's averaged as many as 7 free throws a game in his career, Rose knows how to get to the line.
The first free throw is good. And the Thunder with some changes. Noel comes in for Mike Muscala. And Gilgeous-Alexander is subbed in for Dennis Schroeder. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Henson's checked in. And so he hits both. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. 3-point lead. Paul outside. There's the pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. With the teardrop. Noel passes to Gilgeous-Alexander. And Henson sends it back. Here's Kennard, defended by Paul. Kennard kicks to Maker. To tie it up. Again, the miss by the Pistons. The Thunder leading by 3. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. No good on the 3.
He's done a lot of the little things to help put them in front. I mean, but his offense has not been there for him tonight.
Feeds it to Brown. Shoots over Gilgeous-Alexander. Again, the miss by the Pistons. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from 3-point range here in the 4th. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 9 points now in just the second half. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Paul with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it. It's tipped. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Gallinari. Second free throw, no good. Pistons trail by 6. Brown kicks to Kennard. Pass to Rose. Now here's Henson, defended by Paul. Brown outside. Again, the miss by the Pistons. The Thunder shooting 43% from the field. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Noel passes to Gallinari. The putback. It's good on the putback. That gives him a double-double in this one. 10 points and 11 rebounds.
Oh, what terrific hustle. He's got a nose for the rebound.
Craig, he's ferocious when the ball goes up. Now a timeout called by Detroit.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Dennis Schroeder.
And he's been dialed in from the field, Kevin. Good on over 60% of his attempts. They've been working the ball around well, and he's benefited with a lot of open looks. And boy, has he made the most of them.
He's played up to his full potential tonight, and he's been playing to the crowd, too. He loves being the star attraction, even if it doesn't happen on a regular basis. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Guys, I was able to listen in on what Dwayne Casey went over with his team. No surprise, he was not happy with the turnovers. He told them, we are giving this one away, guys. We've got to be more careful with the ball, play within the offense, and get good open shots. Kevin?
And he makes the first. Rose hits them both. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
Start it.
Here's Paul. Ball's knocked loose. Passes it to Noel. Dishes to Gallinari. Misses the three. And it's Rose with the ball for the Detroit Pistons. Kennard kicks to Brown. Back to Kennard. Fires for three. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Brown's got his 5th assist in this one.
He is scorching the D, exploding offensively.
Oklahoma City leading by 3. Here's Paul. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
And even though he's gone ice cold, he keeps shooting. I mean, it's late enough in the game for him to recognize there's some better options.
Pass to Maker. Rose against Paul. Rose passes to Henson. Shot clock at 5. Over Noel. Converts on the jumper for the easy 2. 8 points for Henson. Now here's Paul. And he's going up for the alley-oop. Noel trying to break loose. Paul with the bucket.
And the fourth quarter just has not been kind. Only 1 bucket in 5 attempts.
The pass to Kennard. Maker with the ball. Gallinari on him. Henson trying to break free. And with that, the Thunder lead is cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Maker. Here's Paul. He kicks it to Gallinari. Six to shoot. Puts it up. Rebound, Detroit. Maker's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Kennard, the pass to Rose. Hinson in the post. Gallinari covering. Shot left block. Again, the Pistons score.
This team really feeds off of one another in terms of their energy.
Yeah, it's taken on a different feel since the break. You can see how many more hustle plays are being made.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
Every time out, a chance to review the lineups, matchups, or call a play.
You know, that's what coaches are paid to do, right? I mean, curious to see what they go with here.
Here's Paul. This one for three. And Henson pulls it down. And they're in position to take the lead.
And how big would a bucket be at this stage of the game?
The shot's good from Kennard. Boy, right down to the wire here. Still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, and after all the energy both sides have expended, both teams still hungry for the win.
Paul with the ball, and it's Henson picking him up. Offensive rebound. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
Gets the first, and that ties the game up. And so both free throws good that time, and that puts him ahead.
And that's how you do it. Free throws can make a huge difference in a tight game.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're behind by 1. There's 1:54 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Kennard. Gilgeous-Alexander covering. Pass to Henson. Passes to Kennard. Jacks up a 3. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Robertson kicks to Gilgeous-Alexander. A minute 20 left in the fourth quarter. Noel dishes to Robertson. Just 5 on the clock. Tipped away. It's stolen by Maker. And that one drops.
This is something the coaching staff encourages. When Maker sees these lanes, they want him to take them.
We've got 1:08 left in the fourth quarter. Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Defense is right there.
And hustle like that is why he leads this team in rebounds tonight.
It's all heart. He does a great job of getting after it.
Gallinari against Rose. Pass to Maker. On the wing, Brown. 5 to shoot. To the inside. Gallinari with the steal. Paul outside. It's deflected. Stolen by Henson. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up.
And they had a foul to give, but you want to use it on the ground.
And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaker. Adams, he's checked in for Nerlens Noel. And the second of 2 is good. That will put them up by 2. Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. They trail by 2. 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, your thoughts?
Big chance here to tie it with a bucket.
Or they could take the lead if they play for the 3. Interesting decision here.
Paul with the ball. He feeds it to Adams. Stolen by Henson. And they go to the intentional foul.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Oh, wow, a huge basket to tie the game. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. The score is tied at 101. 3 seconds left to play in the final quarter. There's Rose with the 3. Oh, no good there. The potential game winner off the mark. And regulation now complete. We will go to overtime. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Oklahoma City. And now we get set for overtime in what has been a stirring contest.
Here we go.
And so off the tip, it's Oklahoma City. And no shortage of excitement here, and we're officially underway in overtime in this game. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball here, brought to us by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for the Pistons, Rose is out there with Kennard. Then there's Brown. Then there's Maker. And it's Henson in at the 5, roaming the paint. Now the pass to Kennard. Lets it go from 11. Up again. Great positioning on the putback.
And, folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Paul against Rose. Paul left side. Here's Adams, and Adams with the slam.
Good to see a player going all out when the game's this tight.
You know, G.A., he knows what his job is. Patrol the offensive glass.
Yeah, Kevin, second chance opportunity so big in this instance. They have to feel fortunate that they could extend that play.
Clock at 6. Here's Kennard. Gilgeous-Alexander pulls it in. Gilgeous-Alexander's got his 5th rebound in this one. And he banks in the layup. And it's a 4-point Thunder lead. Well, overtime basketball, 1.5 minutes played so far. Rose against Paul. Out to the right wing. There's Maker. Pistons keep it alive. That shot off the mark. And it's Paul with the ball for the Thunder. Fires from the line. Jump shot is good. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 4 points in the quarter.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Outside Rose. There's Maker. Henson trying to break free. And with that, the Thunder lead is cut down now to just 3 in the basket from Maker.
A sharp weapon for Maker, active in trying to get himself going from beyond the arc.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Ball outside. They get the rebound. Adams. The feed to Gallinari. And they finally get it to go. A full night's work on the boards in one trip down the floor.
And that's when the double team hurts the defense. I mean, when they're guarding the player smart enough to pass out of it and find the man left alone.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. Just under 2.5 minutes passed here in this overtime. Rose kicks to Kennard. Maker with the ball. Gallinari on him. Back to Kennard. Just 5 to shoot. Brown outside. Henson trying to break free, and it's Brown missing.
Look, I know he wants to get them back into this, but that's not the way to do it. They need smart shots, not heaves.
The dish to Rose. Three-pointer on the way. And it's Brown that time on the assist by Rose. For Oklahoma City, they've gotten off to a solid start in overtime on 5 of 8 shooting. And here is Paul. Gallinari outside. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Gallinari's got 5 points now this quarter.
And that three was big. I mean, it cancels out the triple at the other end, and that appeared to really tighten this game up.
Maker passes to Rose. And Adams sends it back. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And the Thunder another three.
But he doesn't have a clear path to the hoop, so why not? I mean, pull up and bury the three in transition.
Here's Rose. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse.
And Derrick Rose, accustomed to carrying a team offensively, taking and making big shots down the stretch. Nothing new to him.
The Thunder leading by 6. Now Paul. Over Maker. Paul's shot is off. Detroit's gotten 6 points by way of the three-point shot in overtime. They're 2 of 4 on their attempts from deep. Here's Maker. Henson trying to break free. Maker misses.
Nice interior defense. Can't give him any space inside or he'll burn.
Griffin's checked in for the Pistons. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 7 of 11 from the floor since we entered the extra period. Paul against Rose. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. Paul's shot is off.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
Oh, man, an awful display from him so far. But you know he's going to keep working to try to turn it around.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's an 8-point game.
Not enough ticks left on the clock to save them tonight.
Well, it's tough, man. When you get to this point in the game, you fought hard, did your best, but just wasn't enough.
And the foul on John Henson. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. He hits the first one, and that will put them up by 9. Gallinari hits them both.
Clutch free throws there. That should ensure they're going home with the W.
Knight passes to McCray. Launches a 3. Gallinari with the rebound.
And they've been a different team here in overtime. They just seem to have lost their energy.
So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. They escaped with a victory, although they needed an extra period to get it done.
Yeah, but what a great game. I mean, both teams, I felt like, gave it their all. But when it came to OT, it was just all about sheer determination on their part.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Danilo, transition, big for your team. I assume that was a big focus tonight.
Yes, we want to run, and that's what we have to do every time. So that's what we did, and we played a great game.
Gallo, thanks very much. Congrats again. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you later.